Chosen one, listen carefully. Something hidden is beginning to surface. And this time, it's about your grandfather. Yes, the one whose story was never fully told. The one whose silence carried more truth than words. For years, you felt a strange weight in your spirit, a pressure you couldn't explain, battles that seemed older than you. That feeling was not imagination. It was a signal, because what ran through your grandfather's life did not end with him. It reached you. You wondered why the attacks were so relentless, why rejection found you early, why your path has never been easy. But heaven has been watching, and today, God wants you to see something that was hidden in your bloodline, something the enemy hoped you would never understand. This is not coincidence. This is revelation. Chosen one, the truth about your grandfather is surfacing now. And when you understand it, everything about your life will finally start to make sense. Chosen one, listen closely. You have asked this question more times than you can count. Why has my life been so hard? Why the constant resistance? Why the doors that almost opened, but closed at the last moment? Why the betrayals you never deserved? Why the battles that seemed far too heavy for one heart to carry? You looked around and saw others walking through life with ease, while you were fighting storms no one else could see. And at times, you thought it meant something was wrong with you. But hear me now. Those battles were never random. They were never meaningless. They were proof. Proof that your life carries spiritual weight. The enemy does not waste energy attacking empty destinies. Darkness does not organize storms around ordinary lives. The pressure you felt, the resistance that followed you, the strange opposition that appeared whenever you tried to move forward, it was not coincidence. It was recognition. Before you even understood who you were, the spiritual realm already knew. That is why the attacks started early. That is why you felt misunderstood in rooms where you tried your hardest to belong. That is why some people turned against you without reason. They were reacting to something they could not explain. Something inside you, something placed there by me. You see, chosen one, when a life carries purpose, it also attracts warfare. Not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to darkness. Every time you stood back up after being knocked down, heaven watched. Every tear you cried in silence was not wasted. Every lonely night when you questioned your worth, when you wondered if anyone truly saw your pain. I saw you, and what the enemy meant to break you was actually building you. The pressure was shaping your spirit. The battles were strengthening your faith. The rejection was pushing you toward the path that was always meant for you. You thought you were losing, but you were being trained, prepared, refined. Chosen one, understand this truth now. The intensity of the war around your life is directly connected to the greatness of the destiny within you. Ordinary lives do not carry this level of opposition. Average callings do not attract this level of resistance. But your life carries something powerful, something generational, something that will break chains that existed long before you were born. That is why the road felt so heavy. That is why the storms seemed endless. But look at you. You are still here, still breathing, still standing, still searching for truth despite everything you went through. That alone is proof that what I placed inside you cannot be destroyed. So do not misinterpret your battles anymore. They were never signs of failure. They were confirmations of purpose. And now that you are beginning to see it, the same battles that once tried to stop you will become the very testimony that reveals who you truly are. Chosen one, your life carries weight, and heaven has always known it. Chosen one, I know how deeply the rejection hurt you. You tried to belong. You tried to love people genuinely. You tried to stay loyal, to show kindness, to give your heart in places where you thought you were meant to grow. But again and again, the door closed. Friends turned distant. Family misunderstood you. Opportunities slipped through your fingers. Rooms that once welcomed you suddenly felt cold and unfamiliar. And there were nights when you sat alone wondering, what is wrong with me? You replayed conversations in your mind. You questioned your worth. You asked yourself if maybe you were simply too different, too much, or somehow not enough. But listen to me now. The rejection you endured was never a reflection of your value. It was my protection. Because the places you were trying to stay could not carry your destiny. You were trying to plant your roots in soil that was too small for the life I placed inside you. Some environments were comfortable, but they were limiting. Some relationships felt familiar, but they were not aligned with where I was taking you. And if I had allowed you to remain there, your calling would have slowly suffocated. So I allowed the separation. Not because I wanted to hurt you, but because I refused to let your future be buried in places that could never understand who you truly are. Chosen one, your spirit was designed for something greater than ordinary acceptance. You carry vision that others cannot see yet. You carry depth that unsettles shallow environments. And when someone carries that kind of purpose, they often become uncomfortable in spaces where they once tried so hard to fit. That is why the rejection felt so confusing. Part of you wanted to stay, but another part of you felt that quiet pull in your spirit, whispering that you were meant for more, even when it hurt, even when walking away felt like losing everything. Understand this now. What looked like people pushing you away was often me pulling you forward, closing doors that would have delayed your destiny, removing you from circles that would have drained your spirit, breaking attachments that would have kept you small. You thought you were being abandoned, but in reality, you were being repositioned. Every rejection was a redirection. Every goodbye was clearing space for the life that is meant to find you. And one day, you will stand in rooms where you no longer have to shrink to be accepted. You will meet people who recognize the light within you instead of resisting it. You will walk into environments where your purpose is not questioned, but celebrated. But you had to be separated first, because destiny cannot grow in places that reject the very thing God placed inside you. So do not mourn those closed doors anymore. They were never meant to be your final destination. Chosen one, I was not removing you from your future. I was removing you from what could never hold it. Chosen one, I know the silence frightened you. There were seasons when the world around you grew quiet, phones stopped ringing, invitations disappeared, people who once filled your days slowly faded into the distance. And suddenly, you found yourself walking alone. You remember those moments, don't you? Sitting in a room where the only sound was your own thoughts, watching others laugh, connect, and move forward together, while you felt separated from everything that once felt normal. You wondered if you had been forgotten. You wondered if somehow life had passed you by. Sometimes the loneliness became so heavy that it felt like a shadow following you everywhere you went. And in those moments, you whispered the question that many chosen souls ask: God, where are you? But listen to me now, chosen one. The isolation you felt was not abandonment. It was divine preparation. You see, there are things I place inside certain souls that cannot be formed in crowds. There are strengths that only grow in silence. There is clarity that only arrives when the noise of the world fades away. If you had remained surrounded by constant voices, constant opinions, constant distractions, you would have never learned to hear mine. So I allowed the quiet, not to punish you, but to shape you. In those lonely nights when you thought nothing was happening, your spirit was being strengthened, your awareness was deepening, your discernment was growing sharper. You were learning to stand without leaning on people who were never meant to carry your weight. Isolation teaches lessons that popularity never can. It reveals who you truly are when no one is watching. It builds courage when there is no applause. It forms a resilience that cannot be shaken by the opinions of others. And while you thought the world had stepped away from you, heaven was drawing closer. I was teaching you how to trust your inner voice, how to listen beyond the surface of things, how to recognize truth even when it stands alone. Chosen one, the quiet seasons of your life were not empty. They were sacred. Every tear you cried in solitude watered the strength you carry today. Every unanswered question forced your spirit to grow deeper roots. Every lonely step prepared you to walk a path that few are strong enough to follow. Because where you are going, not everyone can go with you. Some journeys require solitude before they reveal their purpose. And one day soon, you will look back at those silent seasons with new understanding. You will see that the isolation did not break you. It refined you. It stripped away distractions. It revealed your true identity. So do not fear the quiet places anymore. They were never signs that you were left behind. Chosen one, they were the sacred ground where your destiny was being prepared. Chosen one, there were moments when the battle felt like it was happening inside your own mind. You remember those days. The sudden waves of doubt that came without warning, the thoughts that whispered, "You're not strong enough, you're not ready, you'll never make it." The heavy feeling that tried to steal your peace, even when nothing around you had changed. Sometimes you woke up already tired, already fighting something invisible. And you wondered why. Why your mind felt like a battlefield. Why your faith was tested again and again. Why peace seemed so close one moment and so distant the next. You questioned yourself. You questioned your strength. At times you even questioned me. But listen carefully now, chosen one. Those attacks were never random. They were signs of a spiritual war over your purpose. Because when a soul carries a calling, the enemy does not wait quietly. Darkness studies that life. It looks for cracks in confidence. It searches for wounds from the past. It whispers lies designed to make you doubt the very destiny that heaven placed inside you. And the easiest place to attack is the mind. If the enemy can fill your thoughts with fear, he can slow your steps. If he can plant seeds of doubt, he can make you hesitate. If he can steal your peace, he hopes you will walk away from the very path meant to transform your life. That is why the war felt so personal. It was not just about circumstances around you. It was about the future within you. Every time you began moving closer to purpose, the pressure increased. Every time your faith started growing stronger, the whispers became louder. But here is the truth you must understand now. The war around your mind was proof that your life matters. Ordinary paths do not attract this level of resistance. Small destinies do not provoke such relentless attacks. Chosen one. The enemy fights hardest against the lives that have the power to change things. The ones who will break old chains. The ones who will awaken others. The ones who will walk with courage where others once walked in fear. And that is who you are becoming. But notice something powerful. Despite every attack, you are still here. Despite every lie whispered into your thoughts, you kept searching for truth. Despite the nights when your peace felt shattered, you did not completely give up. That strength inside you was never accidental. I was there, even when you felt overwhelmed, guarding you in ways you could not see, reminding your spirit to stand again when your mind felt exhausted. Chosen one, the war was real, but it was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal the warrior within you. And now that you recognize the battle for what it truly is, you will no longer see yourself as someone under attack. You will see yourself as someone rising through it, because the purpose placed inside your life is stronger than every storm that tried to silence it. Chosen one, there is a reason your heart has always felt the weight of things that did not begin with you. You sensed it long before you understood it. A pattern repeating itself through the lives around you. Struggles that seemed to pass from one generation to the next. Pain that lingered in your family's story like an unspoken shadow. You watched it happen. Broken relationships, dreams that were never fulfilled, battles that seemed to return again and again, as if time itself could not erase them. And deep inside, something in your spirit whispered, "This cannot continue." But at the same time, you wondered, why do I feel responsible for something I didn't start? Why does the pain of those before you seem to echo inside your own journey? Listen to me now, chosen one. The pain in your bloodline was real. The wounds were real. The struggles that shaped the lives before you were not imagined, and they were not small. Generations sometimes carry burdens they never understood. Cycles form slowly, repeating through years, through families, through stories that were never fully healed. But understand this truth. Cycles do not break themselves. It takes one soul willing to stand up and say, "This ends with me." And that soul is you. I did not place you in this lineage by accident. You were born into this story because you carry the strength to transform it. Where others accepted the patterns, you began to question them. Where others felt powerless, you felt a quiet fire rising inside you. Even when you were young, you sensed that your path would not look the same as the ones before you. That feeling was not imagination. It was destiny awakening. Chosen one, the battles you faced were not only about your own life. They were about breaking chains that existed long before your first breath. Every time you chose growth instead of bitterness, Every time you chose faith instead of surrender. Every time you refused to repeat the mistakes that once shaped your family's story. A chain weakened. A pattern cracked. A cycle began to lose its power. The enemy hoped the pain of the past would continue through you. But what he did not expect was that you would rise with awareness, with courage, with the determination to build a different future. And though the responsibility sometimes felt heavy, you were never meant to carry it alone. I placed strength within your spirit, wisdom within your heart, and resilience within your soul. Because when you heal, generations heal. When you rise, the story changes. When you break the cycle, those who come after you will walk a path that was once impossible. So do not see your struggle as meaningless anymore. Chosen one, you were not just born into a family. You were sent into a legacy to transform it. And the pain that once defined your bloodline will not be the final chapter. Through you, a new story begins. Chosen one, there were doors you truly believed were meant for you. You remember how hopeful you felt standing in front of them. You prayed for those opportunities. You imagined the life waiting on the other side. You invested your time, your effort, your heart believing that this was finally the moment things would change. But then it happened. The door closed. Sometimes suddenly, sometimes quietly, sometimes in a way that left you confused and wounded. And you stood there asking the same painful question so many chosen souls ask. Why, God? Why allow me to hope only to watch it disappear? Why bring me so closely just to take it away? There were moments when it felt like loss. Moments when it felt like the path ahead had vanished. But listen carefully now, chosen one. Those doors were not closing to punish you. They were closing to protect you. Because not every opportunity that looks promising carries the future meant for you. Some doors lead to places where your spirit would slowly fade. Some paths look successful on the surface, but hidden within them are distractions, compromises, and burdens that could quietly destroy the calling placed inside you. You could not see it at the time. Your vision was focused on what you hoped to gain. But I could see the full road ahead. I could see where that door would lead after the excitement faded. The environments that would limit you. The influences that would pull you away from who you were becoming. The weight that would eventually drain the purpose from your life. So I stepped in. Not always with explanations, not always in ways that felt gentle, but always with protection. You thought you were losing something important, but you were actually being rescued from something dangerous. Chosen one, the truth is that your calling is too valuable to be placed in the wrong environment. Your destiny is too important to be built on the wrong foundation. And sometimes the greatest act of love is not giving you what you ask for, but keeping you from what would destroy you later. Every closed door created space for a better one. Every disappointment redirected your steps towards something greater, even when you could not see it, even when it felt unfair. Think about the doors that closed in your past. The relationships that never worked, the opportunities that slipped away, the plans that fell apart when you were sure they would succeed. At the time, they felt like heartbreak. But today, some part of you knows the truth. If those doors had stayed open, you would not be who you are now. You would not be standing where you are today. Chosen one, I was guiding your steps even through the disappointments, guarding your purpose, shielding your calling, and the doors that truly belong to your destiny. No force on earth will be able to close them. Chosen one, you have walked through seasons where nothing seemed to make sense. There were days when you looked at your life and wondered if you had taken the wrong path. Moments when the silence around your prayers felt heavier than the struggles you were facing. Times when it seemed like everyone else was moving forward while you were standing still, waiting, hoping, questioning. You carried faith, but some days it felt fragile. You kept moving, but sometimes it felt like you were walking through fog, unable to see where the road was leading. And in those quiet moments of uncertainty, a thought crossed your mind more than once. God, are you really guiding me? But listen carefully now, chosen one. The breakthrough that is coming into your life will answer that question in a way you will never forget. Because soon, pieces of your story will begin to connect. Moments that once felt random will suddenly reveal their meaning. Doors that closed will make sense. Detours that frustrated you will show their purpose. The delays that once felt unbearable will reveal the timing that protected you. And you will realize something powerful. You were never lost, not for a single moment. Even when the road felt uncertain, I was guiding your steps. Even when you felt alone, I was arranging things behind the scenes that you could not yet see. Chosen one, there are blessings that require preparation before they arrive. There are breakthroughs that must wait until your spirit is strong enough to carry them. If they came too early, they would overwhelm you. If they appeared before the right moment, they could be lost. So while you thought nothing was happening, everything was being prepared. Your character was being shaped. Your vision was being refined. Your strength was being built for the life that is now approaching. And the day will come when you stand in the middle of that breakthrough. The moment when the doors open, when clarity replaces confusion, when the path ahead suddenly becomes visible. In that moment, you will look back at the long road behind you. The struggles, the isolation, the rejection. The battles that once made you question everything. And instead of pain, you will feel understanding. Because you will finally see how every step was connected. Every delay protected you. Every hardship strengthened you. Every unexpected turn positioned you exactly where you needed to be. Chosen one, the story of your life was never out of control. It was being written with purpose. And when your breakthrough arrives, it will not just change your circumstances, it will reveal the truth you have been searching for all along. I was guiding you the entire time. Every step, every storm, every moment. And the path ahead of you now is only the beginning. Chosen one, something is beginning to shift inside you now. For a long time, you believed your pain was meaningless. You thought the rejection meant you were unwanted. You thought the battles meant you were failing. You thought the loneliness meant you were forgotten. But look closer. Look at everything you survived. Every storm that tried to break you. Somehow you stood again. Every betrayal that cut your heart. Somehow you kept loving. Every moment when life pushed you to the edge. Somehow you did not fall. That was not an accident. That was preparation. Because the life you are stepping into requires a strength that comfort could never build. The nights you cried in silence were shaping your spirit. The seasons where nothing made sense were sharpening your discernment. The doors that slammed shut were shielding you from paths that would have stolen your future. You thought you were being delayed, but you were being protected. There were battles you never saw, dangers you never knew, traps that were quietly removed from your path before you ever reached them. And now something inside you is waking up. You are beginning to see the pattern. The struggle wasn't random. The pain wasn't pointless. The isolation wasn't abandonment. It was activation. Everything you went through was building the version of you that could carry what is coming next. Chosen one, destiny does not awaken in comfort. It awakens in fire. And that fire has been shaping you this entire time. The strength you carry now, you earned it. The wisdom inside you now, it was forged in struggle. The resilience in your spirit, it was built through every moment when giving up felt easier than continuing. And now the truth is rising inside you. You were never just surviving. You were becoming the one who breaks patterns. Becoming the one who walks with purpose. Becoming the one who carries a destiny that could only be formed through the very battles you once begged to escape. So feel this moment, because this is where the shift begins. This is where confusion turns into clarity. This is where pain transforms into power. Chosen one, your suffering was not the end of your story. It was the preparation for the moment your destiny finally awakens. Chosen one, this is where everything changes. Look back at every battle you survived. Every tear you cried in silence. Every night you thought you were alone. And hear this truth shaking through your spirit now. God never left you. Not for one moment. Not in your lowest valley. Not when your strength felt gone. Heaven was watching, guarding, preparing, and guiding you toward this exact victory. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not forgotten in the shadows. You are being risen into the purpose already written over your life. Stand up again. Not as someone defeated, but as someone chosen. The pain made you stronger. The struggle made you wiser. The darkness only made your light more powerful. Your destiny is still alive. Your future is still calling your name. Walk forward with courage, faith, and fire in your spirit, because what God started in you, He will finish in glory. Go forward now, chosen one. Your time is here.